Today we're going to be tying the Big Eyed Baitfish. Start off by cutting a clump of fluorofiber. Then tie it in a quarter of the way down the shank. By doing this, you're going to leave room to attach the eyes in front of this tie-in point. Now advance your thread down towards the bend of the hook. Cut the fluorofiber to length, but at an angle. Then bring your thread back up to the original tie-in point, a quarter of the way down the shank. Center tie in a couple of strands of crystal flash on either side of the hook shank, simply by doubling it over the thread and bringing it around to the side. Now we're going to double over a couple more strands and attach them to the opposite side of the shank. Then we're going to hold all the crystal flash back at once and bring our thread back down the shank. Tying in everything at the same point will make the body of the fly uniformed. Fold all of the strands of crystal flash and cut them to length. Tie in the body material, leaving the tag end long. Advance your thread up the shank, capturing that tag end. Once you reach that original tie-in point, start making connecting wraps with the body material up the shank. This is the step that will determine if you did a good job tying in everything at the same spot. If you didn't, you will see lumps in the body of the fly. Now you can tie in your body material. Once it's tied in, trim the tag end. Take a clump of tanned faux tail and tie it in on top of the shank. Then cut the tag ends. Then make a couple thread wraps over the cut ends to help lock them in place. We're going to repeat all these steps for tying in the bottom section of faux tail. Tie in the same length and size clump of white fotail. Trim the tag ends. Now we're going to attach our eyes. Stick your first eye on and make sure it's where you want it. Then spin it around and attach the second eye, making sure it lines up nicely with the first one. We are going to use a thick UV cure to fill the gap between the eyes. The first application is just to hold the eyes in place while we finish filling up the bottom and then finishing the top. Cure it with your UV light and then rotate your fly. Now this time we are going to fill the gap completely. So apply a good amount of UV cure between the eyes. Then you can use your bodkin to remove any excess and give it a nice smooth appearance. Before moving on, cure this side with your UV light. If you notice that you aren't able to completely fill up that gap on the first round, apply some more UV and then smooth it over and then hit it with the light one more time. Now that the bottom's done, we can spin the fly around again. This time we're going to finish filling the gap on the top side. Just like the previous steps, you're going to apply the UV cure, then redden your bodkin over the edge of the eyes. Then cure it up with your UV light. The next couple steps are optional, but will make this fly much more durable. We're going to take some UV flow with the brush applicator and apply it over the entire eye and over the edge before hitting it with the light. What this does is encase the eyes in UV resin, making it harder for the eyes to fall off, whether you bounce the fly off a rock during your backcast or the fly gets regularly chewed on by fish. Either way, it will last that much longer. Cure it up with the light before moving on to the other side and repeating the steps. Coat the eye going over the edges